In our previous episode, we hit the beautiful Flinders Ranges in our Chev Silverado towing the Mountain Trail Alex V 5.7 off-road caravan, exploring Whopping Pound through to Parationa Gorge. This is part 2, where we continue our journey and conquer the Oodnadatta Track. The Oodnadatta Track is an unsealed 600km outback track in the north part of South Australia. It connects Eyre to Marla, heading northeast along the way, and goes through the settlements of Oodnadatta and William Creek. The track follows the traditional Australian Aboriginal trading route. Along the track are numerous springs feeding water from the Great Artesian Basin. The route was chosen for the steam train powered Central Australian Railway. The original was laid in the narrow track gauge, being 3 foot and 6 inches. We start this episode at Leigh Creek, where we pull in for some supplies.
So we're at Leigh Creek fuel station. I'm just going to move forward so we can fill up our water tanks. So let's do it. Just spoke to a lady inside, and you pay $7 to be able to have access to water. So she's given me the top of the tap, so let's connect it. Here we go. Tank 1 is pretty much full, and I can just hear it starting to gurgle.
We just finished filling up at Leigh Creek, and got full fuel, water, and there's a bit of a museum in there, and I found out all about Leigh Creek. So Leigh Creek was a coal mining town. They mined coal here and they sent it to Port Augusta on the old Garn railway line.
Right.
And then in 1954, they upgraded the track to the standard width. And when they did that, they were able to carry 8 times more coal per rail carriage.
That's significant.
It is significant, yes. There's a bit of history on Leigh Creek and the old Garn railway line.
Did it say when it stopped, they stopped running the trains?
They did. 2016 was the year they stopped it, and they stopped it because of renewable energy. And not far up the road from Leigh Creek, we discover the open cut coal mine that still exists today. And not too far down the road, we come across an old building under restoration. We check it out to see what's going on. So right behind me here is a cottage, and what this cottage was built for was back in the day when the Garn railway line was built. They had one of these every 10 to 20 miles, and they had a team of 2 or 3 staff in these cottages that were used to look after the track in the case of a storm, sand covering the tracks, rainwater, and checking the fish plates and everything else to make sure the tracks were secure. It was also common for a train to be derailed out here, so they would also come out and get the train back on the track. And what they're doing here is restoring one of these cottages. Let's go in and check it out. Check out the original old fireplace and the render. All that's pretty much left is just the stone, the door jambs, a little bit of wood. Check out the wood up there. Beautiful old rooms. A lot of history in here. So 2 main living rooms with fireplaces, 2 other rooms, then out the back could be a kitchen. Look at the view out the window. Look at that. This would be original. What do you think that's from? A decorative piece. It's got a thread on the end. Maybe it was a handrail or something on the train. You wouldn't know. And here we are at the start of the Oodnadatta Track. The iconic sign gives out the road conditions.
And it says 4-wheel drive closed, but it's a little bit kind of not really fully clear.
So there's a truck going through it right now. This is the start of the Oodnadatta Track, 606 kilometres. It's been closed for the past few days and only opened in the last hour to let people through because it has been muddy in there.
So we just came across some people at the fuel station and they said they're on their way to the Big Red Bash at Birdsville, but the track is closed. So they're going to have to wait out a couple of more days. Hopefully it dries up and they'll be able to go.
Let's get the show on the road and get in there and see what the track conditions are like.
Yeah.
So we are going to air down for this trip. 600 k's of dirt and corrugations and mud. It's very important to air down on the corrugations, give you a little bit smoother ride. Also protect the tyre, less vibrations in the vehicle and more grip because they have a wider footprint. So we've been talking to Toyo tyres. We're running Toyo RTs on the tow vehicle, the Chev, and we're running Toyo ATs on the Caravan. What we're going to do here in the front, the axle's 2.2 tonne. We've been recommended to drop that pressure down to 42 psi. The back is around about 2.3. We're going to run about 44 to 45 psi in the rear, and the Caravan is 3100 over the axles, so we're going to air that down to 30 psi. So let's air down and get underway. Word of advice, do not put the valve cap in your mouth because the dirt doesn't taste that good. Air down and ready to go. Look at this. That is a lot of mud to bring in here. Like we've got these plastic moulded floor mats. Look at that. Be interesting to see what they look like later, especially if it's like this out there. That's clay. So, let's put them on, get moving. Initial report so far, 35 kilometres into the Oodnadatta Track is it's quite good. There are some corrugated sections, quite heavily corrugated in some parts and some muddy parts as well, but mostly smooth like right now. But what we have noticed on the side of us is the old garden.
Yeah, we have.
It looks quite good, there's bridges there. And we also came across a large, what looked like an old steel water tower.
Yeah, we did, and there was quite a large, I guess, hose or spout that was right next to the garden line. So that must be to do with the steam train.
I think it would be. I think that back in the day that the Garden original trains, I mean, we're going back to the late 1800s when it was built,
Yeah.
and into the early 1900s. It took them 50 years to build it. They were steam trains. That would have been a water reservoir, and then it would have had a pipeline and just gravity fed it. That's why it was raised into the top of the steam train.
Yeah, quite interesting.
Beautiful history out here. Very exciting to be out here. Another iconic location on the Oodnadatta Track is Lake Eyre, Australia's largest inland lake, and here we are. Right behind me is Lake Eyre. It's the biggest inland lake in Australia if it's full, covering 9,500 square kilometres. In fact, it's 15 metres below sea level right now, making it also the lowest point on the Australian continent. And don't bring your jet ski, don't bring your wake boat, don't bring anything here because there's not a lot of water in it right now. Most of the time it's dried up. Let's check it out. When I was growing up in the 90s, my dad had a long driveway. He's got a property at Kilmore, 50 acres, and he had a long driveway. And halfway down the driveway was a pink Oodnadatta Roadhouse sign. Never really registered with me much until this trip, and I've been thinking about the pink Oodnadatta Roadhouse. And I think we should give my dad a call and ask him about it.
Yeah, we should, for
See
sure.
if he remembers. My dad's actually in central Queensland at the moment. He's meeting up with us in our next episode. He's got an LXV 4.7 pop top. He's almost 80 and he's travelling along in his Nissan Patrol V8. He loves it. So let's give him a call and see if he remembers anything about this sign. Hey Siri, call Ray Edwards.
Calling Ray Edwards mobile.
There you go.
We're just out, we're on the, where are we, Heidi? We're on the Oodnadatta Track. And I was just saying to Heidi, I remember, did you have a sign once at Kilmore that said Oodnadatta Roadhouse, a pink sign?
Yeah, it's still there. It's a 9-iron down from the palm trees, from the poplar trees.
Oh, is it? A 9-iron?
It's a 9-iron, yeah.
Right, okay.
It's still there.
Where did you get it? Well, obviously I know where it came from, but how did you come across that sign?
I was on the Oodnadatta Track and I stopped and I put it in the car. they're all 44-gallon drum lids painted.
Right. So you pinched.
Would they have those same things there now?
Well, we haven't got there
signage
yet.
posts?
No, we haven't got there yet. We're on the way though. And
Oh, okay.
I was just telling Heidi about the sign when I was growing up that I remember a pink Oodnadatta Roadhouse sign at home in the driveway.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You pinched it.
Yep. I did.
As we get closer to our camp for the night, we drive through the Motonia Sculpture Park. Mechanic cum artist Robin Cook started the park in 1997, and it features the bizarre rust-in-peace sculpture with 2 airplane bodies mounted on the end just sticking out of the ground. How quirky is this?
Further along, we had a look at another fettler's home at Margaret's Siding, another one of the many striking ruins along our journey.
Someone was here in 92. Such big walls. Incredible. Come on through here. It's like there's 2 apartments. They're both identical layout. There must have been 2 families living here, I reckon. Let's have a look in here.
What's going on?
Well, I'm going to take an Insta photo.
– 130 k's down the road from Eyre takes us to our first night stop, Coward Springs.
Alright, we got to our destination, Coward Springs. Let's check it out. The campsite at Coward Springs was once a station on the old Garn railway line.
No worries, so jump in, do a U-turn and come back and I'll meet you up here.
Okay, fantastic, thank you. The owner, Scott, leads us to the campsite on his bike, where there is the cutest little sign waiting for us. Keep coming!
Guys, how cool is this little place? Nice little welcome, little sign there, welcome Heidi. The host told us all about the property. There's a natural spring over there that you can hop in and have a little dip if you want to, about 100 metres away. A lot of campers, little oasis right in the middle of what feels like a desert. Let's get settled in. It's about 140 k's from where we started at Maree. Look how cute this place is. I must stay, I recommend it already, and I haven't even stayed the night. Let's light a fire, cook some food and settle in for the night.
Good morning! We we are at Coward Springs this morning and we are going to check out the little park. It's very cute here. There is the Garn Museum and there's also the spa. I don't think I'm keen for the spa, but definitely for the museum. Let's go for a walk. Okay, look at this. This is the spa that they talk about. So I found out a little bit of history about the spa. This is the original bore site. So what happened about 100 years ago is they dug for a bore and it became uncontrollable. They just could not capture the water. It was just spewing out of the earth, basically from the Artesian Basin. And hence the reason behind us is why there's this massive wetlands area. So it's now a conservation area, very interesting, but this is the original bore site. This water and temp is from the earth. Wow, it's actually really nice. I reckon it's about 30 degrees. Yeah, I would definitely jump in, but we have a lot to do today. So let's get going. It was only a short walk past old railway relics to the museum. The engine driver's cabin is one of only 2 buildings on the old railway to be restored. It now houses a display with information on the history of the Garn Railway. Check this out. That is a pretty cool fireplace. It was a great opportunity for us to leave a message in the guest book. After turning off the lights, we head back to the cafe through the wetlands walk. So you got to check out the cafe in the morning because they bake date scones daily and they have beautiful fresh coffee. So come on over in the morning. This is an amazing location. You have to come and check out Coward Springs, either for a drop-in or stay the night. It's beautiful. It's an oasis in the middle of the outback, true outback on the Oodnadatta Track. The spa is awesome. Definitely jump in if you can. We didn't quite get a chance, but that's okay. The museum is also fantastic to check out as well. But what a great spot. So let's pack up and get on the road. We've got a fair bit to go today. We've got to get to the Pink Roadhouse, Oodnadatta Roadhouse, and a little bit further. So let's get moving.
Alright guys, so the van is charging. It's a beautiful day. I just checked the solar, it's putting in 21 amps right now and it's only about 9 AM. And when I start the car, I'm going to get another 50 through, so we should be pulling at least 70 amps while we're driving. Let's get moving. So our next stop is going to be William Creek, approximately 200 kilometres in. The corrugations are going to get a little bit worse, as you can probably see. We're bouncing around a little bit more now.
So I've just been doing a little bit of research with William Creek, and we are closer to Alice Springs right now. We are 852 kilometres from Alice Springs and 1,000 kilometres from Adelaide.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So this has been a great trip of South Australian outback.
Yeah, it has.
I love getting out here.
Yeah, me too.
It's so peaceful and it's great to be self-reliant. We know our vans are very good for off-road. It's the way they're built. They're built differently. They're built with laser-cut aluminium cabinets, so there's no joinery. So we're very confident with that, which means that there's no screws holding timber together. So these corrugations literally rattle everything apart, and our vans stay together. I just saw some posts on Facebook this morning of people going to the Big Red Bash right now.
Oh yeah.
Our four-wheel drive caravan is for them, and there's pictures of just people putting up their caravans inside where they're opening them up and the whole fridge is falling out, food all over the floor, doors are off.
Yeah.
Yeah, damage.
Not good.
It does not happen with the Mount Trail because the way they're constructed, they are very unique, and we developed that ourselves
Yeah, we did.
a long time ago, and we're very proud of it. That was a Willys Jeep, left-hand drive, old army, probably from World War II. Unreal, huh? On the Oodnadatta Track. Towing. The Oodnadatta Track is such a bucket list item, a must-do in everyone's life, and what a way to do it. Look at this guy cruising along in his ex-army vehicle. Further down the track, we catch up with this driver to find more about his vehicle. That'd be a rough ride.
Oh yeah, and he's towing too.
Yeah, that would be, he would be bumping along, no doors, nothing. Imagine the dust and the mud and the cold. How cool is that though?
Very cool.
Good on him for doing it.
Yeah.
See that sign back there?
Yeah, I did.
William Creek has Optus Mobile, it said. I thought Mountain Trail RV has onboard Starlink. Right now, in the car, from the caravan, it's on the roof of the van. And it's lots of pulling. Let's do a little test. Go, let's do a Starlink test right now.
Okay.
So we open up the app. Starlink, online, connected, speed test. Show out.
380 megabits per second.
380 megabits per second, it's fast.
That is really fast.
It's really, you know what's really good about it? It's connecting us all of the time. It means that all of Australia, we can go and visit and be in communication with obviously our factory, work, friends, family. So it's safe. You can go out back, you can get anything you want. If you break down, run out of fuel, it's a game changer, it really is. It means anyone can pretty much grab a van, buy a van, go out back and still conduct business and life as usual.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's made our lives a lot easier, that's for sure.
Absolutely. We arrive at William Creek. The Great Northern Railway line reached this town in 1889, 10 years after the construction began in Port Augusta. William Creek currently has a population of 10 people. And we catch up with the Jeep owner who's pulled up for some fuel.
I love it, it's awesome. Very cool.
It's a Willys Jeep, yeah?
No, it's a Ford GPW which was made exactly the same as the Willys,
Yeah.
but it was made by Ford. Ford
Yeah.
made 283,000,
Yeah.
and Willys made about 350,000.
Right, and it was World War II US vehicle.
It never served in the US. It came to Australia in August 1942.
Yes.
It was equipped with a radio. It was chucked out of an aeroplane on a parachute at Rabaul, and it spent its military life as a communications vehicle in the Pacific Island.
Did you say it was thrown out of an aircraft with a parachute?
On a parachute, yeah,
Right.
at Rabaul.
Okay.
And yeah, I bought it off an ex-Vietnam vet, because I'm one as well.
Yeah.
And I put it in a shed 11 months, and $15,000 later, it's how it is today.
And now we move on and check out the William Creek Hotel. There's nothing quite like it anywhere in Australia, so we went to see what it was all about. The ceiling of the pub is covered in paraphernalia, business cards, hats and the like from all the people that have passed through the town over the years. Hey Heidi,
Yeah.
do you know what this is?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's a jukebox.
A what?
A jukebox.
Oh, well done.
He often thinks I'm really that young. I
What
don't think
albums,
it's
what albums they
functioning.
got? What albums they got?
It's not
Come
functional.
on.
It's not functional.
What do they got? 2006,
Four.
2004 Pop Urban Collection, 2006 Pop Urban Collection.
Oh, Eskimo mode.
Oh, Cold Chisel. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction. Pulp Fiction. And guess what? Pulp Fiction was filmed 30 years ago in 1994. It's now 2024, 30 years ago. And I am driving like Winston Wolfe. Do you know who he is?
Yes, I do.
He's the cleaner.
He was
I
the
drive
cleaner.
fast. Keep up. As we step outside, we run into a really cool old Land Cruiser for a bit of a laugh and check out the fire truck. There is also a Royal Flying Doctor Service site right in town as well.
Nick got talking to another caravan owner who was travelling full-time with their family.
Yeah, working on the road as I go as a landscape architect, so we're sort of juggling 2 kids and trying to run a full-time business.
Yeah.
But yeah, Starlink.
Starlink helps, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's
absolutely.
amazing.
We have Starlink flat mount on the roof of our van.
Yeah.
We have no aerial.
Yeah.
And we're connected to it while we're driving.
Oh, wow, and it still works?
From the car, from
Yeah,
the
wow.
Wi-Fi. We never turn it off. It's on a 12-volt power supply.
Yeah, connected to the batteries. Yeah,
and
awesome.
I think that's the way of the future with Starlink as well. That we can all go out back and do exactly what you're doing.
Yeah.
Touring and working from the road.
But I think it's a new social norm.
Yeah.
In theory.
We want to be connected, we want to stay safe. We need supplies, we need water, we need fuel, we need breakdowns. It's the new era, everybody.
It's awesome that there's a new social norm being created, being able to work full-time whilst travelling on the road. So we got told by a fellow traveller that a couple of days ago people were sliding through these tracks. It was pretty slow going. Very glad that we made it a day or 2 after the rains, so it's all kind of smoothed out a bit nicer for travel right now, so it's good.
Except for the corrugations that we're currently going through.
Yeah.
We're exactly halfway on the Oodnadatta Track right now, and as you can hear, the corrugations are pretty strong.
They are.
It's quite a smooth ride in the Chev Silverado, but the stone stopper is doing really well.
It's really spreading out those rocks underneath the caravan. We're not hearing any dinging in the back of the car or on the caravan, so really happy. It's a lot better system than what we had when we went up to Cape York.
And we're being very careful about our tyres because it is quite shaly and stony and corrugated, and the last thing you want to do is have a puncture or a blowout. Always keep an eye on your pressures. If you feel anything weird, pull up, check them, and be gentle. We're only driving at 80 kilometres an hour. That's what being advised by Toyo tyres.
Yeah.
So be careful, and it's halfway. Let's keep going. We've just pulled over for lunch on the side of the road next to the old garn line, but let's have a quick look while we're here. You can see the mound and the old bridge they've put here, and these sleepers are from the original railway line when it was made from 1880 to 1930. It took them 50 years to make it. I can tell it's old because you can see the pins going through here, and that's only narrow, so this would be part of the original gauge track. Look how old the concrete is, the foundations. Looks like stone just packed in there with not much cement at all. Check this out. Look at this. I have no idea what this is. It's heavy. It's got a part number, 2618. What do you think? Should we keep it? It's definitely something to do with an old train, huh? What about this? What's heavy as well? Looks like some kind of an axle. Or a drive shaft or something. Been snapped. All these old relics here are part of the old garn line. Now, interesting, garn came from Afghan cameleers, they called them. This is all bound by camels back in the day. They're all heading around on camels, so they called it garn after the Afghan cameleers. I have seen something hanging down below on the ground, and it is the Anderson plug. This is not good. So this has been pulled out of there somehow, probably by a rock. It is a 50 amp to 50 amp Anderson socket. So luckily I do carry spares on this trip, and I'm going to fix that right now. And it's very important you carry spares. We carried lots of spares, bearings, brake pads, fuses. This is my spares in here, a lot of them, and I do have in my kit an Anderson. What we're going to do is fix this right now. We don't have any solder here, so what we're going to do is I'm going to crimp this. Pretty good. It's a pretty good connection. And we've got positive. One's in. Yep. And then we have it fixed. before we get moving, I think we need to test that out and make sure we're getting 50 amps through to the van. About that part we found there, that whatever it was, that steel relic. I think we should take it.
No.
Why not?
It's too heavy.
Too heavy. We're in a Chev Silverado 2500.
It's still too heavy.
1,332 newton meters of torque, 350 kilowatts. It's not too heavy. We could stick it on the mantelpiece at work. Couldn't we? As a memoir.
What?
Do you want me to get it?
Whatever you want to do.
No, we'll leave it. Let's go. Let's go and check out this fettler's cottage. Can you imagine back in the day how much infrastructure would be needed to actually make this track, build these buildings, and look at the environment we're in. We're so far from civilization, and back then when they were building it, they had camels. It's crazy. Let's go and check it out. This one's pretty deteriorated as well.
So we just checked out another fettler's cottage, and what I've worked out is that they all have the identical layout.
Right.
You've got 3 separate living quarters, I believe, with 3 rooms in each quarters, and they're all identical. So interesting. So it's either 3 families or 3 workers or whatever the situation is. But yeah, they're all identical. It's pretty cool.
I think I did read that. There was 3 sets of people that were there, 3 different workers and their families.
Yeah, yeah.
Interesting, huh? So maybe it's the same layout, they just built exactly the same one everywhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're coming up to our very first pink sign. We've got pink water tanks on our right. And here we are at another historic landmark along the Oodnadatta Track, the Algebuckina Bridge. It is the longest bridge on the Oldgarn Railway, measuring 587 metres long and constructed out of lattice wrought iron. It was opened in January 1892 and built by a team of 350 men working in the desert heat. It crosses the Niels River and was eventually closed in 1981 when the rail route was shut down. It is now a beautiful and historic free campsite on the riverside. Here we are, the Pink Roadhouse, fully up with diesel. We averaged 21.2 litres today, over 275 Ks. That's what we've done when we left this morning at Coward Springs. Pretty good economy, I think. Anyway, let's get some diesel in here, go in and pay and check out the general store. $2.99.9, $3 a litre. So that fill up cost us $6.84. $386.84. $386.
Is this the Jeep version of what we saw today?
I think it's a Land Rover.
Oh, okay.
I think it's an original Defender.
Right.
Oh, there you go. It is. That is a Defender. Look, it's a Julie. Wow, look at that. Imagine driving that around in the day. As we rolled into the Pink Roadhouse, I was eager to find out if anyone knew about these missing pink Oodnadatta signs. So we checked it out with the console operator.
There's still 44-gallon drum road signs around.
There's none left. You know why, don't you? Because my dad pinched them all back in 1987.
Wow, everything is pink in here. Let's check it out.
It's actually a little bit different to what I expected. I was expecting kind of a big bar or a bistro or a beer garden or something big, you know. It's actually a roadhouse with a shop attached with merchandise and a general store. So let's get some supplies and keep moving. Ooh, we need tomato sauce. Been missing that. And what else? Hey, what's for dinner tonight? What are we having?
Tacos.
Tacos. Do we have all the ingredients for tacos? This is our last stop between here and Alice Springs, I believe.
We've got all the ingredients, but I didn't have the hard shells.
Trying to do too much with only one hand. Yes. It'll be right. Alright, let's get on the road. Wow, this is pretty cool. So have a look up there.
We're Peter Pound Flinders Ranges. That's where we've come from yesterday. We have done 715 Ks since Flinders. It's pretty cool. and we're heading to Alice. So 7:07 to go.
Do I have sunglasses here?
They're in the van.
Oh, I love my sunglasses. I've got 5 pairs of them. They're all in the caravan.
They are.
It's very bright.
It is a bit bright. As we drove into the sunset, an overwhelming feeling of accomplishment started to set in, knowing that we were near the end of the 660-kilometre outback journey.
With the dust swirling behind us and the Chev soaking up the corrugations, we powered into the dusk, searching for the final campsite. Oh, how beautiful is this fire?
So good.
360 kilometres today on the Oodnadatta Track. We pulled up on the side of the road, got a nice camp spot. We're gonna have a beautiful meal tonight, watch the sunset.
Yeah, let's do it.
Hang out by the fire and we'll see you guys in the morning. We hope you have enjoyed watching this 2-part episode of the Flinders Ranges and the Oodnadatta Track. But don't go anywhere yet as we take the Chev and the Alexei 5.7 all the way north to the remote Kimberley where we hit the Gibb River Road in our multi-part series. Please hit the like button, subscribe and turn the bell notification on so you don't miss out when we drop this new exciting series. Thanks for watching.